Recording in progress.
There are 2 scenes left for Act 3. We're going to do scene 4 and 5 just together because 4 is so quick and it's super accessible. As you read it, I am confident you're going to understand everything that is being said. So essentially in scene 4, what's happening is that Paris, this is another parallel scene, right? Do you remember before Paris came to Capulet and he asked for Juliet's hand? And Capulet said, just wait. She's not yet 14. Go look at other beauties at my party. Do you remember that scene? And here we have this scene again where Paris comes to Capulet. And Capulet is going to say, as I look at the text in scene 4, he's going to say that Juliet's really sad. She's crying a lot. Her cousin's dead. So she's not going to come down. She's already gone to bed. In Paris, these times of woe afford no times to woo. I'm curious what you think of Paris. He's not really a bad guy here, you know? He's probably a wealthy citizen. He's related to the prince, and he knows that Juliet is a catch. Is he such a bad guy? I'm not sure. Shakespeare kind of leaves that open for us to interpret. Don't really know. And then where's the line I want to point out? Oh, he says this really weird thing. She loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly. That's line 3. And so did I. Well, we were born to die. What a strange thing to say. He has experienced a lot of death. He's lost children, right? Like when we find out early on in the play that Juliet is their only child, but they had others that had died that didn't make it. And they decide that, hey, what day is it? It's Monday? Wednesday's too soon, right? Let's do it. Let's make the wedding Thursday. So Capulet thinks we need a little bit of fun. We need a little bit of festivity. Let's have this wedding on Thursday. Will you be ready? He says to Paris. Do you like this haste? Do you like that we're hurrying? We'll just have a couple people, just a friend or two. And then Paris says, I wish that Thursday were tomorrow. So that is it for scene 4. It's really short. So wedding on Thursday. So much for Romeo. This causes a problem though, doesn't it? Juliet is already married. And little do her parents know that her and Romeo are together in the house. Like, they are married. You are cordially invited to the wedding of Juliet and Paris Thursday. Hello, right after Tybalt's funeral. Kind of an unexpected twist in the play that Juliet now has to marry Paris. Well, in scene 5, if you got your books open to scene 5, there's really 2 parts to this scene, and they're not like indicated as part 1 and part 2, but they're very distinctly different. Romeo is going to sneak up to Juliet. They are going to spend their wedding night together, and it is the next day. We know that because they're talking about birds. Their whole conversation is about it's morning. A lot of things are happening here. We're alerting the audience. The original audience is watching this in broad daylight. So our textual language here tells the audience it's the next day. It is the morning. And they're kind of debating playfully about a bird. They hear a bird singing. And Juliet says it was the nightingale, not the lark. So the lark is the bird of morning. The nightingale would be the bird of night. So you get this light and dark contrast going on too. The language of this section, excuse me for a second. The language of this section is a surprising contrast from the circumstances. Romeo is banished. If Romeo is found, he is to be killed. The last place in the world that he is safe is Juliet's room. And they are talking just so playfully and oh, don't leave yet. It's not really morning. So I think that language is very accessible. You should be able to understand what's going on there. Lots of beautiful images. And Juliet says, stay, don't go. Romeo says, let me be taken, let me be put to death. I'm content if you'll have it so. And then she says, no, 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 no. It's really the lark. You got to go. It's a lot of contrast back and forth. And the nurse is going to come in and say, hurry up, your mother is coming. And then Romeo is going to leave. All right, that's kind of like the first part of this scene. The second part of this scene, Lady Capulet is going to come in. And I want to examine some of the language. So the scene is going to start with Romeo and Juliet together. And then Juliet is going to be fiercely determined by the end of the scene to act on her behalf and on Romeo's behalf rather than listen to the nurse and her parents. So let me just open up this text here and we'll just take a look. Hopefully you've got your books, but this will help. Is that working? Can you see that? It's not quite working for me. I had this problem the other day. All right, I have used Zoom enough that I should be an expert. Let me try it one more time. Maybe it's showing up on your end, but it is not on mine. Share. Okay. All right. You can probably see it. I cannot. So I'm just going to look at my text and talk you through it. Not be able to scroll through it there. I'll just, let me pause and try one more time.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I think we've got this figured out. So that's Romeo and Juliet. That first part is scene 3. In comes Lady Capulet with great news. Are you still crying for your cousin? Will thou wash him from his grave with tears? Okay, you guys, it just happened, right? She says you can't make him live. So let's move on. She says, well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death as that villain who lives which slaughtered him. Now, there's a lot of subtext here. So the text itself says one thing. Juliet means something different when she talks, and you're going to see that in this scene and in another scene to come. So try to look for subtext. Juliet says, God pardon him. She's talking about Romeo. I do with all my heart. So that means that she would pardon Romeo. And yet no man like he doth grieve my heart. So Romeo is grieving her heart. And Lady Capulet is going to take that to mean Romeo killed your cousin and that's why you're sad. She has no idea that Juliet is in love with Romeo. That is because the traitor murderer lives. Ay, madam. And look what she says. From the reach of these my hands would none but I might venge my cousin's death. So to Lady Capulet, that means Juliet wants to be the one to avenge her cousin's death. But look at Juliet's wording here. And what do we know that Lady Capulet doesn't know? Juliet says, would none but I. I don't want anybody else to wreak vengeance on my Romeo. That's what she's saying. We will have vengeance for it. Fear thou not. Weep more, says Lady Capulet. Weep no more. I will send to one in Mantua where that same banished runagate doth live. I shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied. Lady Capulet says, I'm going to send somebody to Mantua where Romeo has been banished, and we're going to poison him. Juliet says, indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. All right, so it sounds like I won't be satisfied until I see Romeo dead. That's not what she's saying. Look at it again. I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him. She wants to be back with Romeo, right? And look at this word dead and then read the next line. Dead is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed. Her heart is dead. She's sad. Madam, if you could find out but a man to bear a poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. I'll deliver it. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named and cannot come to him. So she is saying the truth, but the meaning for her and the meaning for Lady Capulet are different. Her heart can't stand to hear his name until she can be with him, to wreak the love I bore my cousin upon his body that slaughtered him. And I've got good news, says Lady Capulet. Oh, joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they? What are the good news? Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy that thou expectest not, nor I looked not for. No duh. Juliet did not expect that her father was going to arrange a marriage with Paris. Well, madam, in happy time, what day is that? When is this joyful day? Marry, my child, early next Thursday morning, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the Count de Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride. Yay! Cue the bells. They don't know Juliet's married at all. This is all a secret. And Juliet says, oh, now by St. Peter's Church and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. No, 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 no. Hold your horses. I wonder at this haste that I must wed before he that should be my husband comes to woo. Wait a second. Paris hasn't even come to woo. I've never even talked to this guy, right? Like, what do you mean I have to marry him? I pray you, tell my lord and father, tell Mr. Capulet, I will not marry yet. And when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. So she's saying to her mom, I'd rather marry Romeo, whom you know I hate, than Paris. She's essentially communicating to her mother, I don't want to marry Paris. I would do anything, in fact, marry my enemy. Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself and see how he will take it at your hands. This is not going to go well at all. The Capulet lord comes in all sunny. Hey, wife, have you told our daughter about this big news? She will have none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave. Oh, there's more death language. So would Juliet at this point. And so Capulet says, take me inside. I want to talk with this girl. I want to find out what's going on. Why are you so proud? And Juliet says, I'm not proud, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love. Capulet is like, what? Proud? Thank you, I thank you not. What are you even saying, girl? He says, you get yourself next Thursday to Paris and to St. Peter's Church. Look at his language. Or I will drag thee on a hurdle. Out, you green sickness, carry on. Out, you baggage, you tallow face. So Capulet has already arranged this wedding, and his daughter is not cooperating. Lady Capulet at first is like, what, are you crazy? And Juliet begs, please listen, please listen. And he continues to call her names. And he says, I tell you what, you get to church on Thursday, or you will never look at me in the face again. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. That is so emphatic. He's saying the same thing 3 times. Don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. Wife, we thought we were blessed that God gave us this one child to live, but now I see that one is too much. Oh, what horrible words for a father to say, right? The nurse is going to try to jump in and intercept. Lady Capulet says, you're too mad. And he is going to continue and rant. That's what you're going to see in this scene. I'm not joking, he says. Thursday is near. Lay your hand on your heart. Advise. If you listen to me, I will give you to my friend. If you do not listen to me, you can be hung, you can beg, you can starve, you can die in the streets, for by my soul I will never acknowledge thee. So this is interesting because Romeo has been banished to Mantua, and if Juliet does not marry Paris, her father is going to banish her. Little parallel thing going on there, right? And the dad leaves, And Lady Capulet is like, don't talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. And she leaves too. So not a triumphant moment for these parents at all. Let me look at my notes, see if I've caught everything. Okay, after her parents leave, she's going to lean on the nurse very heavily for counsel. Just like Romeo is looking to the friar for counsel, Juliet is looking to the nurse for counsel. There's a whole lot of bad advice given in this play, just FYI. And the nurse says that essentially that Juliet should marry Paris, right? She's going to say, Juliet's begging the nurse, how can I stop this? How can I stop this? And the nurse says, Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dares never come back to challenge you. He says, she says, I think it's best that you married with the county, that's Paris. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. What? The nurse knows. The nurse and the friar are the two adults that know that these young people are married. She says, Romeo's a dishclout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris. So again, surface level, like he's a good looking guy. Why don't you marry him? That is so far off of where Romeo and Juliet are at. That's not their mark at all. She says, I think you're going to be happy in this second match. It exceeds your first. Your first is dead, or it were as good he were. And Juliet's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Well, look at Juliet's response. Thou hast comforted me. Marvelous much. Go in. Tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father, to Lawrence's cell, to make confession and to be absolved. I'm going to go to the friar. Well, what can you imagine she'd want to go to the friar for? Do you think it's confession and absolution and to align herself with her parents? The nurse thinks so. Wisely done, she says. Look at Julius. This is not Julius Caesar. Look at Juliet's language at the end. Sorry, at the end of this scene. She calls the nurse ancient damnation. You old wicked fiend, she says. Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn? Or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him, and above compare so many 1,000 times? Go, counselor. Go away, nurse, she says to herself privately. Thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. You and me, we are going to be two, not one. I am not united with you. From this moment on, I will not listen to your wisdom, quote unquote. And Juliet says, I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fails, myself have power to die. This ends Act 3. So much has happened here, and both Romeo and Juliet are in a place of desperation. Now, Romeo has left for Mantua thinking all is good. I imagine on their wedding night, they woke at the beginning of this scene very playful and joyful. They must have talked about like a plan. There must be something positive because he left very positively, right? He has no idea that Juliet's family are demanding that she marry Paris when she is already married. That will be the end of Act 3. Enjoy your reading, and I look forward to discussion in class.